of our breaking news and the story we've been following from last week. As you now understand, at the MBJ Airport in Montego Bay, which is the Sangster International Airport, now an ambulance is assigned to the airport. An ambulance is stationed at the airport for any case of emergency. The ambulance will respond to every emergency at the airport and to take persons from the airport to the hospital or the hospitant, which is about 5 minutes drive from the airport. And that's a very good news. But what we're saying at the moment, the family of the deceased, Mr. Simit, still need answers surrounding his death at the airport. So as Dean Jackson interviewed the nephew that took him to the airport, the nephew is saying that everything that the ministers and them saying, it's rubbish. Jamaican would say a lie. You understand? Because he had paid $10,000 to the airport. Sorry, $10,000 to the ambulance service. And we're not going to use the word allege because he came out and he spoke it widely. So the world saw it and the world know about it. So the airport is saying that no passenger or any of their airport employee should pay for ambulance service in case of any emergency at the MBJ airport. But in this case with Mr. Simit, it wasn't that way around. It was the other way around. His nephew had to pay $10,000, even though he did not get in that ambulance to be taken to the hospital. He died at the airport. It's sad to talk about this incident, but we have to put light on this incident so something like this doesn't occur again or ever. So again, we're going to send out from Lanzo News TV, we're going to send out our deepest condolences to Mr. Simit family, and may his soul rest in peace. He should have been back here in the United States. His life was cut short. So we're going to play the video with Dean Jackson, because we ain't going to be long today, from TVJ News. And Dean Jackson is interviewing the nephew. Go ahead, producer. Come closer to your screen now. Yeah.
There's no at the airport. We're going to be talking in today's program about the concerns about the medical response to his collapse, as well as the arrangements in place at the airport for emergency medical care. Later on, we'll hear from Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, Opposition Spokesperson on Health Dr. Alfred Dawes, as well as disaster and emergency risk management expert Dr. Barbara Carby. Thank you so much for joining us. This is All Angles. I'm Dion Jackson Miller. First, though, I spoke earlier today with Ramon Smith, who is the nephew of the deceased man. All right, so take us back to last week, Wednesday. So I understand that your uncle had come for a family funeral and was heading back to the States. Just tell us your story. Tell us what happened.
Pick him up down by Savamar. He rented a car. But the person that he rented the car from, he went to that person's workplace to drop off the car. So I pick him up from there. So on our way to the airport, it was okay. Talking. Me and my little daughter. Everything was normal. Went to the airport. Airport, they are working on it. So you have to just drop off whoever you're dropping off and just move. So we just do that. Drop him off and him say, when him reach, he will let me know whatever, and that was it. Then like 25 minutes later, I got a call that I need to go to the Conway Regional Hospital, because the person I just left there he fell down and need urgent care. So I said to the person who talked to me, I asked who is this, and she said she's a representative from JetBlue. She worked with JetBlue. So
JetBlue is the airline he was flying with?
The airline he was traveling with, yeah.
Okay.
She said I tell her I'm close by. If I can come back and get him. She said, no, he's in need of urgent care, so they would have to call the ambulance. But anyway, she said it was $400 to transport him to the hospital, and they need confirmation. So I say, all right, no problem.
And that's 400 US?
Yeah, 400 US.
And to be clear, this is still the airline, the person who identified herself as an airline representative.
Yeah. That was the person. Still.
Okay.
I wanted to go back and get him, and she said, no, he's in need of urgent care, so they have to call the ambulance to take him to Conroy Regional. And all she was debating, and it was just the 400. She need confirmation. I said, miss, go ahead and take him. Sir, I need confirmation. So me have to ask her, I said, it look like a me don't know what confirmation mean, or you. Me say, carry man $400 to save somebody's life. Not that. And she said, okay.
We dip on the live. Go up on YouTube and you see live. The Trace, I watch it too after we done, we're going to pray. We're going to stay on long 30 minutes. Just go up on YouTube and you see.
With him. So by the time me, the same policeman, the same police, I have the case. I go to him and I say, we tell the person them, say, I need the position where the man have on him, and them not give me. So him there try to cut them out. So one police lady now call Mrs. Delapen and tell her, say the person where I come now, everything for him, and we are gonna need it. So me there the mark like 30 to 30 minutes before them come. But by them come now, the lady is what he have in his pocket. $50 Jamaican, 30 Wrigley's. So and nobody can give no account for none of them there. Only one Wrigley's 50 that's all you get back half time. None of them there you get back when you have everything good with me and him. No farmer illness, no signs of illness, no tell you we are nothing. So just not me not understand. And then now the ambulance people them still have to pay them 10,000 because they dead or whatever, so me still have to pay them.
Who asked you for the $10,000?
The ambulance personnel.
The driver?
Me not sure who if I drive or but it was a lady run the car. Same place at the airport. But it was two of them. One man and a lady, and the lady run the car. The money never come in a play or whatever. Not like that. I mean have to sure. And me pay. Them can't say. Them can't tell somebody else that. Them can't tell me say no money never come in a play. That me pay.
Tell me exactly what they said to you.
Sir, we understand where you go through now and everything, but a part of the policy. As we come, we don't get to do anything, just fee of 10,000. And then now give you a break everywhere you go. It's like they know why you get where. Then just down in your skin. You have to pay 10,000. You pay them
Chase,
half of
big
the
up
car.
yourself. Thanks for joining.
So I don't understand now how them say no money never come in a play. I don't like that. I don't understand that. Fear no mind. She pay the private car, they say no private car, they have to follow protocol. So I say, in an emergency, I understand. So I think say if I do a white man drop down there, no protocol don't come in a play, because them are going to try to save him. Them are going to try to save him and then think about money after. The same Jamaican them where I work out there, if I do a white man, everybody run him, then fan him, then do everything to save him. But their own nation, you just are deal with money, you deal with money over life. And that could have happened to any single body, any person at all that could have happened to.
So tell me what.
This
They're my person, whoever in charge or whatever, about the airport, them fit be an example.
Tell me what.
Take it right there. Let's click only one time.
You can't just look for one man, lie down a ground. If ambulance will come out, if you don't get money, you can't
search bar type in Lanzo Lanzo News. Yeah, news. Let's see, come up.
Don't know clearly what would have happened if your uncle had got medical, you know, if an ambulance had got to him quicker, if he had got medical equipment treatment. We don't know what would have happened, but it sounds as if you feel that he never had a chance. He wasn't given the best chance.
He never get a chance for first thing we start in drop down, and there's something go see. Them put him on one different part because what airport business have to go on, you know. Him can't stop airport business from going. People have to move. Him they are one different part by himself. Nobody not pay him no mind. Nobody not pay him no attention. Not that. Attention. If him did get attention, you could have said you try, but you just nobody not try.
The airport has a chance to see it. They're saying that after their operation,
until after 20 accountable for all of this, all of the negligence and if it something be done. You have to set an example. You what to the next person when you have nobody to come and talk about them. Suppose I did one taxi charter. When you know not
Airport sent out on September 10, they said, and I quote, "We wish to emphasize there's a required emergency." Ask a representative from MBJ Airports to speak with us. We were told that out of respect for the family, they're not engaging in discussion at this time. As you hear, though, what the family wants is answers. Let's go to the break. When we come back, we hear from the Health Minister, Dr. Christophe Tull.
So yeah, guys, that's the final information regarding the death of Mr. Simit at the airport, Donald Sangster Airport in Montego Bay. As you all understand, Mr. Simit was on his way back to the United States after he went to Jamaica to lay his brother to rest. But unfortunately, he did not make it back home. He died at the ticket counter when he fell and hit his head. It was a slow response from the airport staff and the management at the airport that led to his death. And I don't know, but it seems to me as if the airport staff don't have enough training to assist someone in case of emergency, any type of medical emergencies. But the family need answers, and they must get answers, and they need to sue all these persons that involve both the airport, JetBlue, the Ministry of Health, and also the Prime Minister himself, because it's showing you that if they don't care for our passengers that coming into the island, they don't care for our own Jamaican people. You understand? Only thing these politicians doing is grabbing money. Because we have two international airports and the one in St. Mary in Boscobel. And you're telling me that there is no ambulance on site at the airport or any emergency equipment to assist in case of any emergencies should occur immediately. It's slack. And the family need answers. The family need closure to Mr. Simit death. Mr. Leroy Simit, may soul rest in peace. And I am appealing to the family to file some lawsuit against the airport and JetBlue, because the man faint and the first thing they should do is try to take him to the hospital. But they're demanding money. The ambulance need money, 10,000 Jamaican dollar. So it's like they don't care about Mr. Simit lying on the floor, even though he was already dead. So guys, we're gonna go to our next video. The Jamaican Defense Force leaving for their mission in Haiti, in which they left already today. 20 personnel from the Jamaica Defense Force and 4 persons from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. So they may be land now in Haiti. So we're gonna show you that one.
Why does the video not? Does the video unavailable? Not in my region.
All right, go to the next one. What is the next one?
The next one is one shot and injured
Where?
in Manchester.
Put it up on the screen. You could see. Go back a little with your hand. All right, all right, yes, all right. Let me see what it say. Man shot and injured in shootout between gangsters in Greenville, Manchester. All right, so when that happened, I mean, if you get the laptop in so we can see close up. All right. Yes, Miss Mirror in our place. Welcome, welcome. All right, so guys, as you all know, Manchester been hot from last week. Manchester and Westmoreland and Clarendon. Those three parishes has been so hot with crime and violence riddling these parishes. You understand? So the people in these parishes, they have to be under a state of emergency or SOE or what you want to call it. You understand? They can't move freely as they should because of crime and violence in their area. Every community in Jamaica, people should be going about their normal business free and don't even afraid of nothing. You understand? Church, supermarket, school, work, wherever. But guys, we're gonna go over to the next one because we don't have enough information on that one.
This one is the update on Burger King. That
Oh, the Burger King update.
yeah.
Yeah, so the Burger King update now, the explosion caused from a gas leak, you understand, that injured 6 of their workers.
Burger King. There we discovered that the building was extensively damaged. Windows blown out, doors blown out. And we also got information that approximately 6 members of staff would have sustained some degree of injuries and would have been taken to the hospital. We are not certain of their condition at this moment. We are in touch with the medical facility where they have been taken. We are hoping to get an update as to their condition. Um, what triggered this incident this morning is that the staff came in to work. They discovered that there was gas leak or gas leaking, and so they called in the supplier to come and look at the cylinder. Supplier came in, recognized that there was a defective regulator. That was changed. The staff were given the green light to resume their activities. They went back into the store and, of course, resumed their activities. 10 minutes subsequent to that, there was a massive explosion. It is our belief that the explosion was due to a built-up of gas in the environment mixed with ambient air, and of course,
New
some
Kingston.
would have been brought
New Kingston Burger
in
King.
the lighting of a stove, and that would have triggered the explosion that we saw here. It's really unfortunate because there is always a protocol to be observed. The staff did what they needed to have done based on the information we have from the proprietor of this store. And so we are only hoping and praying that their conditions are not too serious or life threatening and that they will make a speedy recovery. So, yes, Pizza Hut, their staff members would have experienced some amount of challenges. I think I was advised that at least one or two may have fainted based on the fumes that would have traversed their property. And they have been treated on location here by members of the Ministry of Health team who are here. The other facilities, we have asked that they be evacuated out of an abundance of caution. And we believe that once we are finished here, then Starbucks and the others coming down, can reopen for their usual business. Whether that will happen today is left to be seen. I rather doubt it, given the disruption that has taken place here this morning. Approximately 10:36 this morning, we got a call.
That's it for
Yeah, that's
just
it.
directly. Yeah.
All right, go to our next story, producer. Make us see what go on. Yeah, people, thanks for joining.
It alone.
Producer should have everything ready already,
No.
because I'm soon gonna prayer call and go back with the answer more. Too close. Yeah, right that's so.
Egg Farmers Association mark reporting that egg production in the country post-Beryl has been reduced by 25%. He says Hurricane Beryl caused significant trauma to the chickens, which to date are yet to produce any eggs. Consumers could start seeing less eggs on supermarket shelves as egg farmers struggle to get some of their layers affected by Hurricane Beryl to produce. The farmers say while they did not sustain physical damage to their farms during Beryl, their chickens suffered from the trauma. Mark Campbell is the owner of a farm in Trelawney.
We breathed at the time a sigh of relief, believing that all we had to do now was to get ourselves in order, the birds get back into production. We had estimated at the time that the trauma and the stress brought on the birds by the storm that it would take us a period of about 21 days. That's the usual turnaround period.
The veteran farmer says the time has elapsed and
the birds have not returned to peak production. They're taking a long time. So the actual production of eggs in the country is down by between 20 and 30%. So you can say an average of 25%.
Campbell says he and other farmers are now relying heavily on pullet farmers. He says so far, one pullet farmer has promised to flood the national flock with 150,000 pullets between the August to November period. A pullet is a young hen that is under the age of 1 and has not started laying eggs as yet.
We have given up looking for these birds that went through the storm and are over a year old. We have now written them off as being unable to come back into production in sufficient quantities that will satisfy the market.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News. From dreams to reality. Active Home Center here, one-stop shops. And the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, JACRA, says the coffee industry seemed to have suffered more losses than originally thought from Hurricane Beryl. Acting Director General Wayne Hunter gave the update during the distribution of chemicals and fertilizer to affected farmers in Bango Ridge, Portland on Wednesday.
We would see a reduction in production. And that is because of the rains last October, November, where we saw that the sector would lose approximately 50,000 boxes. And then with all the berries that fall off the trees during our time, we expect a further reduction.
For their part, some farmers are not pleased it took the authorities so long to reach out to them with assistance, and some say it's inadequate when compared to the huge losses they've suffered. A farmer predicts it will take between a year and a half to 2 years to rebound.
Like a banana planted, we need everything. Just as I reach time for nobody can run, nobody can jack, nobody. So there's a family farmers when you're struggling. I want to fertilize, the man 1 or 2 root, it is different. But the man with farm, like we, well, if you bag of fertilizer, I'll push up.
To other news now, MBJ Limited, the operator of Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James, has secured an ambulance that will be permanently based at the facility to respond to emergencies. The ambulance was provided by Hospital, a private facility with which MBJ Airports Limited has a contractual arrangement for the provision of that service. It comes as a review of emergency protocols takes place following last Wednesday's incident in which a passenger collapsed and died at the airport. The lack of an on-site ambulance was one of the concerns that had been raised. President and CEO of the Airports Authority of Jamaica, Audley Dedrick, says he was informed yesterday that the medical facility at the airport will now have this service.
Given this review to take place of the whole protocol that are involved, that already in response to this particular concern that the airport operator has already altered the arrangement with the ambulance providers and have in fact now secured permanent placement of the ambulance at the airport during operational hours.
More details this afternoon on the tragic crash in McCook's St. Catherine, which claimed the lives of two men along the main road Wednesday night. At least one motorist believes a gaping hole in the road may have led to the fatal crash.
With the patrol, man, dangerous, man. That's the road I travel on a taxi road, you know. Yeah, and the whole a very dangerous hole. Whole bad time, man. But you're conscious, not conscious, man, you know, so. Drive funny every day, I can't taxi me, use street something. Yeah, so I know where there, I know when to swing if I want to swing.
There are now urgent appeals for the road to be fixed. Reports are that the men were traveling in a Nissan motor car when it made a sudden swerve to the right and crashed into a Land Cruiser. TVJ News was informed that the Nissan was badly damaged and the fire department had to cut the men from the vehicle. Both men are said to be mechanics. They have been identified as James Morgan and Nicholas Creary. With just days into the new school term, Acting Commissioner in charge of Area 1, Glenford Miller, is expressing concern about violence in several schools, including those in St. James, Hanover, Trelawney, and Westmoreland. To this end, the police are partnering with principals to implement initiatives aimed at addressing the issue. The initiative focuses on teaching students how to resolve disputes, specifically gang violence. The ACP emphasized that these efforts are designed to prevent students from a life of crime.
What we have done, we have actually collaborated with the principals and the dean of disciplines at these schools, and have our community safety and security persons from the headquarters here and within the divisions, and the school resources officers would have actually deployed them in these various schools to actually give support to the school to actually ensure that we can actually reduce the acts of violence within these schools. So it's actually about changing the behavior of some of these young persons.
Additionally, police youth clubs will be established as part of the strategy.
We have the police, our police youth clubs. We have police youth clubs within the various communities. And we went further. We have been police youth clubs within schools. This is one of the latest initiatives that we have launched from sometime last year, where our police officers actually go into these schools and actually to form youth clubs to actually curb some of the behaviors of our young men and even our young girls within the various schools.
And still in Area 1, Acting Commissioner Glenford Miller is reporting a decrease in murders since the beginning of the year. He said the division recovered 138 firearms and 2,379 rounds of ammunition. Miller urges gang members in the area to avoid confrontation with the police and instead surrender peacefully.
Area 1 has actually recovered 138 firearms. 138, and a total of 2,379 assorted ammunition. For the gangsters, those persons who consider themselves gangsters across Area 1, and it's giving us problems, and that person sometimes live in fear as a result of them. I am saying to them, using this media, when my police officers come to apprehend you for the crimes that you would have committed, please don't challenge the police. Surrender.
And it's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we come back.
All right, that's it. That's it. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Yeah, and we look forward to see you again. Yeah, as I'm about to go in a prayer meeting right now, so we look forward to join you. You join us again, and guys, just like up the live and share. Subscribe, and yeah.
Tune in again next time. They hear almost every day.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, so that's the end of our live, and we normally read a psalm, yeah, before we cut still before we start, yeah. So we're gonna repeat the 23rd psalm. You understand? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still water. He restored my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness, for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou presentest a table for me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I'll dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Guys, thanks for watching. We're out. Have a blessed day.